Hello and welcome to another episode of Riley Talks. Today I want to start off on the company that put Blockbuster out of business and made Family Video the go-to place for DVD rentals. Of course, I'm talking about the Stream Kings themselves over at Netflix. Netflix changed the way we watched movies, but more importantly, it changed the way we watched television. It gave binge watchers instant access to their favorite TV shows, which is something television and DVD seasons just couldn't do. So it was just a matter of time before they decided to create their own original content. And it was just a matter of time before they would create their own good original content. And like any good American network, it took an old British miniseries, gave it a coat of American paint, and gave it a much better actor. Spoiler alert! The series is very different from other political shows in that it seems just shy of treason.
Just shy, which is politics.
Thanks, Frank. The show itself is very dark, and its outlook on our political landscape is just bleak. Our main character, Frank Underwood, is the most villainous protagonist I've ever seen. I mean, his initials are FU for God's sakes. His introduction is terrifying, and what truly makes the character a joy to watch is his fourth wall breaks. The show uses the sadistic nature of Frank Underwood to its advantage. Kevin Spacey always brings his A game, and his South Carolina Southern gentleman accent is just perfect for this show. This story has many twists and turns, and sometimes it's easy to get lost. But one thing it does well, and it does this very well, is set up characters. How they're dressed, how they talk, how they walk, everything. For example, when they're setting up the character of Raymond Tusk, it's very easy to see that he is a rich miser by the way they show his house, which is the house of a middle-class person. Also, his office, which is the barest office ever. Not the office of a billionaire, but it sets up the character. This series is a complex story of deceit and betrayal, and because of that, it's not the most accurate depiction of government. This show is not a political procedural. It seems to be more focused on the backroom dealings of Frank Underwood and his wife, Jenny. Oh, I'm sorry, I mean his wife, Claire. I was thinking of Robin Wright's other role as Jenny in Forrest Gump. At the end of season 2, Frank completes his task of destroying the presidency of Garrett Walker, the path he set himself on all the way back in the first episode, completing his long journey to revenge, at the end of the season becoming the President of the United States. I have no idea what's going to happen in season 3, but I'm going to watch it in like a day or two when it comes out, and then I'll review it again. While I have you guys on the subject of political shows, I want to talk to you about another show which is viewable on Netflix, and it is The West Wing. This is one of my favorite shows, and it's definitely my favorite political procedural. This show is great because it is a story about the people, and it's also about what the people do, which is what makes it a political procedural, because it goes through each of the individual steps, which makes the show have a much better movement to it. And at its core, it has Martin Sheen playing President Josiah Bartlet, which is the best thing going for it. And he wasn't even supposed to be there all the time. He was only supposed to be on the show every month or so. And you can see that when you look back at the pilot. You can definitely see that was what the show was going to be. But it's really good that he was there all the time, because that's what made the show, was him. And it has a lot of characters, but it gives equal time to each of them and their problems, and it gives you time to become emotionally invested in what you're watching. I want to show you the first appearance of Josiah Bartlet and Frank Underwood from their respective series. Fair use, gods, please don't screw me.
The first commandment says, honor thy father.
No, it doesn't.
Toby,
it doesn't.
listen to...
No, if I'm going to make you sit through this preposterous exercise, we're going to get the names of the damn commandments right.
Okay, here we go.
Honor thy father is the third commandment.
Then what's the first commandment?
I am the Lord your God. Thou shalt worship no other God before me.
It's okay. There are two kinds of pain. Sort of pain that makes you strong, or useless pain. Sort of pain that's only suffering. I have no patience for useless things. Moments like this require someone who will act. Who will do the unpleasant thing, the necessary thing.
Both men have such powerful introductions. One of them literally says, "I am the Lord thy God." That is such a powerful way of showing a character. The other one kills a dog while giving a speech on pain. That's terrifying. Before I let you go this week, I have one more show I want to talk about. It's almost all available on Netflix. It's great, and it shows the political workings of a small town. Of course, I'm speaking of Parks and Recreation. Now, Parks and Recreation could go on and on about that show, but I'm not going to. But it happens to be distributed by the same network that distributed The West Wing, which means there's some nice references in it. Wow, that was a lot of information. I'm sure you guys have a lot to go watch on Netflix right now, except what I just spoiled for you, because now I've ruined the entire series and you have no reason to watch it, except for the fact that it's a really good series. Thank you guys for watching another episode of Riley Talks, and please tune in next week when we'll have a very special guest for our 20th episode.